That's something that the Phantom Thieves are kind of familiar with. Often cognitions of, people from somebody's memories will turn into a mini-boss that we have to fight. Kind of feels a little bit like Shido's Palace now that I think about it. Oh yeah, and we seem to have beaten that thing so badly that we destroyed the entire set. What's wrong with your eyes, Hikari? Okay, they're back. Let's not think that Teddy cured her, because that would be horrifying. Huh. Then what about Do? Why did Rise and Fuka think that Do kidnapped her? So, this is, like I was saying during the third Labyrinth, this is where Hikari's arc diverges radically from most Persona spin-off characters, because normally this is about the point where they start to hit the pits of their depression, but actually, thanks to us changing the endings of all those movies, Hikari's the one getting proactive and trying to investigate her own past now. But again, what? Oh yeah, Do was the one who told you, but why did those two think he kidnapped her? Yeah, maybe next time tell us and get a bodyguard. Oh, okay, this is one of those kind of mental worlds that doesn't harm the person person it originates from, I guess. But I mean, that teacher sure tried to harm us, the moment that Hikari denied it.
No.
You don't really see a lot of biographical musicals, probably for good reason. The closest I can think of is Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and that one's explicitly a parody. Yeah, and this is one aspect of Q2 that I do feel is a little weaker than the first game, in the sense that, like, the first game, it kind of left it up to the player to figure out how the labyrinths were all symbolic. This one pretty much totally spells it out to you. Kamoshida Man is based on Hikari's old teacher, and this is actually interesting because, this means that the character that he replaced in the movie was originally female. And Hikari used to think of teachers as superheroes who upheld justice, and that's why her mind created that movie that was a twisted superhero who was actually the villain. In a disturbing way that we don't really want to think about. Let's not remember Kamoshida as a rabbit ever again. Yep, that about sums it up. Though that's kind of a little bit insulting to Haru. I mean, I suppose that, they're traumatic memories, but, like, it's kind of implying that Hikari's, like, memories aren't good for making movies out of, the way that he puts it. Yeah, now those two are maybe a little less obvious. Well, actually, the second one's probably pretty obvious at this point. AI guess, though, that one is a little... You'll see. That one's probably the most surprising of all three of them when it comes to what it actually means. Well, I mean, there wasn't much of a reason for all of the investigation team. They all had dungeons born from their own painful memories. Yeah, and we do as well. Plus, I mean, granted Futaba had a palace. It's funny that I was forgetting about Futaba's palace when I was talking about Shinjiro having one, but like again, my hot take is I don't like Futaba's palace very much as a dungeon. It's one of my least favorite dungeons in P5, that and Sire's. And those are often the two most popular. And I think I've mentioned this before, that, like, the key is, like, people like them for story reasons, but, like, I care kind of more about gameplay when it comes to dungeons, so they're my two least favorites. So, what I was saying about Do before, he both is and isn't our enemy. He might be trying to help Hikari, but that doesn't mean he's not doing it in a way that could be harmful. No, she was making good progress. Please don't regress now. You have a lot of really strong bodyguards to help you get through the rest of this labyrinth. We got your back, just as the song says. Yeah, Mitsuru's not really used to just doing stuff to help a friend. She's got them that more, you know, co-workers, not friends mindset. Ryuji. He's still great, though. But before we do anything else, we need to step on all of the tiles in this room and finish it up, because we are pretty much, Oh, there are encounters in these rooms.
Hikari, 今日はヒーローごっこやらないのかい? この間まで夢中だっただろう? 光はヒーローが大好きだから。
もういい。ヒーローごっこ飽きちゃった。
そうか。つまらなくない?
平気だよ。一人でも映画見てるし。
そうかそうか。じゃあ今度の日曜に一緒に映画を見に行こうか。
本当？お仕事平気？
ああ、頑張ってお仕事早く終わらせるよ。
でも疲れちゃわない？
疲れて帰ってきても光を見たら元気になるから平気だよ。光は僕のヒーローだ。
やったー。それとね、私決めたんだ。
ん？
大きくなったらね、映画撮る。お父さん映画好きでしょ？私も映画大好き。だから私がいっぱい撮ってお父さんに見せてあげるの。できたら見に来てね。約束ね。
おお、それは楽しみだな。光の映画はどんな映画になるのかな。完成する日が楽しみだ。ああ。
The fact that she's no longer, saying she's no longer interested in heroes would imply that took place shortly after the elementary school incident? Yeah, that's what happens when you forcibly break Black Cyclops and Phoenix Wright, so yeah, don't do that. I was about to say I like the party's understanding about this, but, you know, they're all... I mean, you know, exploring Persona dungeons... They're all practically mental health professionals at this point. Now, slight problem with this, I'm pretty sure if I go bouquet, I'm just gonna go back to the stairs. So how do I actually reach that chest? It's probably also best that we step down into the next floor, though, so I can set that as a place that I can walk back to from the start of the dungeon. Act 3 and Act 4, they are both effectively the same area. I can believe that about Ryuji. So, this is where Hikari gets very interesting. She was not confident enough to do this before? And it's an aspect that I do really like. She knows a lot about movies. Couldn't help but talk a lot when it came to movies. Now, remember when I was hinting at some things earlier on in this playthrough that I couldn't fully discuss? Now I finally can. Yeah. This is what I find interesting about this game, despite the fact that I do think, I can also believe this about ARM by the way, that its story might not be quite as good as Q1's, and it's easy for people to forget this game as far as spin-offs go. Hikari is extremely autism-coded, and that makes her arc especially, I think, relevant now that people are becoming a lot more accepting of neurodivergent people. And yeah, this is what a lot of people think, like, the singing in musicals is. It's like, it's not literal, it's metaphorical. One thing that I've actually said, this kind of reminds me that, like, in the Scott Pilgrim movie, they said the fights in that movie serve the same purpose as songs in musicals, a way to express the character's emotions, but not representative of what's literally happening, because otherwise Scott Pilgrim would have just murdered a bunch of people. And, like, nobody would have batted an eyelid at it. I haven't read the comic of that, which I think is kind of different, but, like, I subscribe to the theory that at least in the movie, a lot of that film is inside his own head. But yeah, the songs in musicals are meant to express the strong emotions that characters are feeling, and that's why I enjoy a good musical sometimes, because, like, just... you know, and why I also like the, vocalized, video game songs from Man on the Internet. I still like Man on the Internet's Chrono Trigger musical more than the Undertale one, and I believe he agrees. The Undertale one is significantly more popular, but, I do like the Chrono Trigger musical a lot, and I think they put a lot of work into that, and it didn't really do as well, so anybody who's interested, go watch Man on the Internet's Chrono Trigger musical. Yeah, I'd say she's got more of a hyperfixation on Kung Fu. Yu-Gi-Oh's like, Chie, I've watched that with you about 1 billion times now. Oh, are we gonna... Oh, yes! Yes! We can actually say The Cake Night Rises. All of these are movies from Persona 5 you can watch, but, of course this is my favorite. About social awareness, and the fact that, that turning the Joker into a crazy pie maker is the best thing ever. And making Batman obsessed with cake is also the best thing ever. Of course, you would like that. Also, fitting, in my headcanon, Like a Dragon is a musical. Because Majima totally would make his own life into a musical. Speaking of that, Matthew Mercer actually sings really well as Majima in Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Yeah, I'd have to look more into the psychology of exactly how special interests develop in people with autism, because I'm not really sure exactly, like, because my interest in games didn't really start until I first, no, it was kind of before, like, even before I actually, like, because it's hard to say how much of it was that and how much of it was, like, oh, just, I happened to be growing up in the 90s when Pokemon was, like, huge. Like, all of you youngins these days who were not kids during Gen 1, like, you have no idea just how insane Pokemon Gen 1 was when it first, like, debuted. Like, it was everywhere. Just entirely everywhere. And, like, teachers had a really hard time. Like, a lot of players had to ban Pokemon cards and, like, Game Boys because kids would get really aggressive about trades. So yeah, I'll need to look into the psychology of that, but I think it was about the time that I started finding out about Pokemon that I really got into it, but I kind of knew that I was, like, my parents had got me diagnosed before that. I wonder if I can actually talk about some of that. I mean, I'm not gonna, like, literally share my psych papers in a video, but I might want to talk about some things that I do remember from my childhood with growing up with autism. Because I was one of the lucky ones who got diagnosed early. I got diagnosed by a pretty reputable doctor as well. Like, not everybody had that luxury. But okay then, let's just go her in more. Oh, right, no, you have to start there, because there's no stairs that floor otherwise. Okay, so the only way that I can access that map chest is from floor 1. Another enemy really? Again, I am getting more of these with Fuka on Support Navigator, who's supposed to have a skill that blocks those. I need to please let the run work. I just realized I haven't saved since I beat that mini-boss and saw those cutscenes, and I don't have any Vanish Balls. That was incredibly dumb. No, please, no. Come on, somebody run away. Thank you. Oh, wow, okay, right. Note to self, don't go in here without Vanish Balls again. Okay, here we go. Now, this had better be worth it, and it's probably not, given that the medium chance null ailments / binds of 1 row for allies. It's kind of like Aigis' personal skill, but on ailments and binds. I mean, depending on what you're fighting, that's not awful, but, like, it is no-go her M more. Speaking of which... Oh, speaking of hyperfixations and special interests, Naoto and Futaba are both nerding out over Aigis. It's rare I see 0% on my maps. I've shuffled around my party a little bit, done a little bit of persona management, and hopefully things go okay. I have Confusion Circle and Teddy right now. So hopefully that will be able to get some AoE confusion going. If not, I can switch back to Black Frost for just 1 row confusion. So let's move on. Oh, okay, yep, there's a new enemy. Yeah, it's a happy little Tin Man.
Oi.
Lugging one hell of a wicked axe around. Yeah, you would know, Shinjiro. Of course, in this game, it's pretty much entirely just him using hammers because they didn't want to be redundant with Haru. Although they actually do have redundant weapons in this game, like Yosuke and Koromaru have the same weapon type, Yu Narukami and Junpei have the same weapon type. Let's consult our resident axe expert, speaking of which. Oh hey, she's actually giving some pretty reasonable advice. Yeah, it's either in Happy Tin Man mode or Big Scary Oni Face mode. Just like the teddy bear, this one has different tells as to when it's about to be dangerous to you. But yeah, this labyrinth is pretty much entirely... Yeah, so it's now in Happy mode, so I can safely take a step forward. So yeah, it's not doing anything right now, but if I take a step around, it's about to swing, and so I'm going to take a step back because, yeah, it covers an area 3 steps in front of itself. So it might be nice to paint those tiles in. And just be careful when you're passing by them. Okay, about to swing, yep, stay away from that area. Oh, everything here is new. Okay, then. So, we've got Minotaur 2, the sequel, which is resistant to fire, ice, elect, and wind, but weak to nuclear and bless. We have the Flattering Hiblary, which is weak to curse. And the Pure Papillon, which is weak to wind. Like I said, let's see if the Confusion Circle works out for me. Teddy's got pretty solid luck. Okay, got two confusions there. It's effectively a slightly less odds of working Tentarafu that also persists for a number of turns. So if you're confused something initially, you might end up still getting a confusion in later. And yeah, these things are hitting pretty hard. I am starting to wonder whether I need a grinding session, but I am in the middle of a dungeon run now, so I'll be thinking about that later. Okay, yeah, that's definitely not going to kill everything, but we'll see how much that does. Okay, maybe another turn might be able to help here. Unfortunately, we lost all of our boosts except for one last turn, but we got the Minotaur down at least. Okay, good, yeah, I do like that the majority of the healers in this game are really fast, given that turn order is based on speed. It's not really as necessary in the mainline Persona games, where I think sometimes turn order is based on speed, but usually it kind of matters less because characters take their turns individually. I feel like agility normally affects accuracy and evasion more than it's more important for accuracy and evasion, I should say, than it is for other stuff. I am surprised that Arn survived that, wow. It's funny seeing Dis as such a late game Persona for me. I normally pick up Dis around the mid game. I remember it being kind of important in, I think it's SMT Nocturne, where Dis evolves into... I know it evolves into something very good, but was it Nyx that it evolves into? Like, it's definitely something... Oh, wait, no, actually, hang on. Dis evolved into Valkyrie in Nocturne, and Valkyrie was less useful for its own, like, abilities and more for the fact that it had a really, really useful recruitment skill. Soul Recruit, which, against, like, male humanoid-looking, demons, is typically an instant recruit. Okay, yeah, I want to go through here first, just to, get my bearings with a few shortcuts. Speaking of getting your bearings, you know, haha bear puns, I really want to see the bear FOE. Because I have a fun story regarding it. Well, specifically its origins. Because like I said, that thing is very obviously the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, which I think is actually doubly fitting, because not only is it a fairly light-hearted musical story, it is also pretty important in the history of cinema. Like, the actual, like, Oz story itself that it's based on, the books, not a lot of people talks about that, but it's apparently weirdly disturbing, more disturbing than it was intended. But the original movie is very fondly remembered, and I think that's probably... that makes sense for Haru to be, interested in that kind of thing. Now, it is important to check treasure spots in this labyrinth, because you can apparently, and this is somebody in the comment section who told me this, you can apparently get, absorb element accessories here. Oh, that's a lot of twins. And then we have this thing, Tranquil Idol. I don't think we've seen this one before. It is weak to wind. Okay, I am very glad that thing smacked itself with a power charge attack, because it probably would have summoned more things. I'm mostly doing the, choosing my party based on who needs to level up, but okay, yeah, we can do a, big ailment cure, yeah, with Arn. I would kind of like Maragion, though. Oh, wow, that came at a great time. I was wondering why Teddy didn't really have a lot of revival skills, but yeah, as I said during Teddy's bio, earlier sources summon a calm in this game, and I don't care about physical ice moves on Teddy. And yet the game's gonna give me another one in level 43. Now, I just realized that, I unequipped Pabil Sarg, so I don't have any good Sai on this party right now. Yeah, I'm not really using, Salome's Kiss very much with Joker. Okay, yeah, it turns out I don't really have a lot of good SP recovery either, so I think I'm gonna just go a little bit further in, and then I will be heading back to, yeah, heal myself and the like. Okay, it's already chopped. So yeah, down here is just a shortcut that leads straight back there, which is kind of pointless. I guess it's an easy way around the Axeman, but, like, it's kind of pointless given that, that area also leads to nowhere. I really don't want to have to use my Balm of Life just because I'm about to get an encounter, but, like, No, I have the Goho M more. That's probably more worth it when I've explored so little of this floor already. The ones that absorb elements cost 1,500 to appraise, that definitely wasn't one of them. Yeah, I had a feeling these were just stat boosters. Resist instant kill. There aren't a ton of enemies that use instant kill attacks in this game, I feel. Okay, now I can go through here. It is important to mention that the Tin Men do stand on, like, a tile, but these tiles are not required for map completion. Yeah, this is just a loop. And this area right now is not going to lead us anywhere of consequence apart from some shortcuts. Am I going to be able to actually run from this? Because I forgot to bring... Okay, I did get out, but I forgot to bring Vanish Balls. But yeah, we have that shortcut locked in. I think I am definitely going to need to do another grind session. This area just leads to an event. Because, yeah, the enemies here are... I think they're actually a bit too strong for me. I'll probably go to, like, level 41, maybe, which is the current wild level. In fact, next time I plan on taking on the FOEs of Genetic Land, so, that'll be a good, diversion before we go into the grind. Yeah, An Hikari, really, you should be able to get along well. Wait, there are clothing stores inside this labyrinth? I mean, they'd probably be stage costumes and would likely be those really disturbing, like, sunflower outfits. Oh, right! It was the Kamoshida Man one. Yeah, that place had shops. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Yeah, Hikari, be thankful you don't know about the extent of Kamoshida. Granted, if Hikari was around in, P5, she'd probably, I feel like she'd probably be physically assaulting Kamoshida before anyone else did. Yeah, that's true of some things, but nothing involving Kamoshida. Yeah, that may be the worst thing that's possibly worse than Yakihiko protein flanderization. Wow. I'm gonna pretend that line never happened, honestly. Yeah, so I have plenty of time for shopping, and then by the time Hikari and An actually do get to shop together, Yukari's gonna be, like, way older. Like, how old is... Okay, so Yukari's, like, Okay. So let's do the math here. So... Hikari is, like 16-ish in, 2009, I think. Whereas An is in 2016, she's that age. There's like a 6-year difference, I think. Which would mean that, that Yukari's about 22 in Persona 5's timeline. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, given that, Rise is 20, in that time. We specifically know that, thanks to the TV broadcasts. You know, if I'm gonna continue with this party, I should probably use growth incensers on at least a few of them. So, let's take one on An. And I feel like Joker falls behind easily. Okay, Maik is not bad, but also I like the flexibility in case we end up running into, Curse-Bane enemies. That is gonna get FemC Triple Link, let's go for that. So in this case, I can get rid of Goku Ento, I think. Going fully all-in on Links, but that's kind of what you want to do with FemC. Gonna cover just a little bit more of this, because through here, yeah, we have our first switch to move on to another floor. Yeah, we'll be hearing a lot of the character switch quotes in this dungeon. So, a bit of a sneak preview of Act 4, essentially the second half of Act 2. And this area only has one switch, so no flipping these outside of raising up to back to floor 3. We've also got a big area with, oh, okay, this one turns around. Interesting. And it only swings forwards and backwards, so those are the two areas to mark out. Same enemies as last floor, except we've got a Bane Sword in the mix now. Yeah, unfortunately, the safeguard's not going to avail you much when FemC with her Link goes first and knocks you down, and I'm pretty sure that knockdown enemies stop guarding. Yeah, the Herblary took a hit there. So the guard's definitely gone. Okay, that fight went way smoother. So yeah, I only need to be a little higher level than I currently am. Oh, you're back. You served me really well. I feel like I haven't actually used Narasima in, like, the mainline Persona games that much, but Narasima did really well here. Also, Snake Pit Organ, that sounds... I don't think I want to know what that is. But yeah, if we head straight down here, also, yeah, that's a patch of grass we can't step on. But if we head straight down from here, we will have yet another little passageway that has nothing but a dead end for us right now. And also a preview of a thing. Yeah, is that, like... The first one's supposed to be Happy? I think it's Happy Road. And it's telling me that it's in a different direction. I wonder if that is... I'm just gonna mark the chest. I wonder if that's intentional, or whether just everywhere in this labyrinth is gonna tell you the Happy Road is in the opposite direction that you're currently going in. Because, once again, say it with me now, it's symbolic! I've said this before, but I'm not really a huge fan of, like, quoting Hi, I'm Daisy all the time. I wanted a little bit of a change from saying it's a metaphor, because I've been saying that a lot. I'll have plenty of time to say that once I actually play Metaphor ReFantazio on the channel. Okay, when everyone gets confused, that's when things get... Okay, maybe I actually need to invest in some anti-confusion items. Because, yeah, all of a sudden, things are not going as smoothly. I believe I've got to bring Vanish Balls again, so... Okay, we're out. And that's all there is left in this room. I just want to make sure that I've stepped on all of these tiles, though. Clearly I hadn't stepped on at least one of them, because my percentage went up to 13. So if we keep going down here... My map is giving me the reading of a chest, but it turns out that it is actually not just any chest, but the map completion chest for the floor, and yeah, this place is a little bigger. So yeah, floors 1 and 2 were quite small. 3 and 4, significantly larger, and we'll be bouncing back and forth between these as we make our way through both. So that's actually a pretty good time to probably call this, although firstly I am going to just explore this little area. Remember to actually mark the map chest. And try my luck at this treasure spot before we go. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz references are definitely intensifying right now. So, I'll see you all next time for another diversion from this labyrinth as we go back and fight some FOEs. See you all then.